This is Rummy's Corner. 11 months after losing his unified heavyweight championship against Oleksandr Usyk, Anthony Joshua and Usyk had an immediate rematch in August 2022. This time around, AJ put forth a more spirited effort, but it still was not enough. Usyk again proved too quick, too skilled, too smart, and too durable. It was another clear and decisive victory for Usyk, although this time around it was officially a split decision. The former two-time champion's career had reached an all-time low, having lost 3 of his last 5 fights. Less than 2 years later, the script has flipped, and like a phoenix rising from the ashes, Anthony Joshua has resurrected his career. In an 11-month span between April of last year and this past weekend, AJ has won 4 in a row, which is amazing in a day and age where top heavyweights typically only fight once or twice a year. Last April was when it all started, when AJ won a workmanlike 12-round unanimous decision against Jermaine Franklin. Despite winning clearly, a lot of people were still critical of AJ's efforts, where many believed he was gun-shy and lacked confidence. Personally, I thought it was a strong rebound for AJ against a tricky customer who was tough and durable. Joshua did what he needed to do and won the fight without any controversy whatsoever. Last August, AJ was supposed to have a rematch against Dillian Whyte, but instead he faced late replacement opponent Robert Helenius. Once again, many fans were critical of AJ's performance, with the main criticism being that AJ struggled against a man who was bombed out in a single round against Deontay Wilder the year before. To be sure, Helenius did provide AJ with a real challenge, which I view as a good thing. And at the end of the day, Joshua earned the victory when he scored a dramatic and devastating knockout against the Nordic Nightmare in round 7. Then last December in the main event on the Boxing Day of Reckoning, AJ thoroughly outclassed Otto Wallin, and the fight was stopped by Wallin's corner after round 5 concluded. It was another strong effort against a highly regarded contender. Even here, however, many detractors were still critical of the victory, trying to discredit the win because of a lackluster effort on the part of Wallin. Personally, I thought it was his best victory in years to that point, and I was mighty impressed. Then this past weekend, AJ made quick work of Francis Ngannou, dropping him 3 times, the last of which resulted in a powerhouse knockout for AJ in round 2. And once again, Joshua's detractors were quick to note the fight was against an MMA fighter who had little professional boxing experience. Once again, I personally thought it was impressive. AJ was patient, methodical, and he capitalized on the openings he created for his devastating power. What more was AJ supposed to do here? After all, that door was opened by Tyson Fury, the reigning WBC and lineal world heavyweight champion, when he struggled against the very same man to escape with a 10-round split decision. Ngannou even managed to drop Fury with a beautifully timed counter. With each victory, Joshua has looked more and more confident, and he has also looked sharper and more relaxed, particularly in his last 2 fights. Part of that no doubt comes from the inherent benefits of remaining active, and part of it comes from the working relationship Joshua began with trainer Ben Davison over his last 2 fights. But in addition to the new winning streak and the accompanying confidence and sharpness that come with the territory, in terms of marketing, Joshua is setting himself up for a mega fight showdown against the winner of Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk, which is expected to be a rivalry that lasts at least 2 fights, and one that would theoretically produce the first undisputed world heavyweight champion since the great Lennox Lewis last held that distinction 24 damn years ago. In my opinion, it is clearly no coincidence that AJ's last 2 opponents were common opponents with Fury, and indeed each foe provided Fury with a difficult fight. AJ made easy work of Wallin, who Fury had some struggles against. And AJ made even easier work of Ngannou, who Fury had tremendous struggles against. In a very real sense, AJ's career trajectory since losing against Usyk has been twofold. 1, AJ is trending up and on a hot streak. And 2, Team AJ are hedging their bets in the event Fury emerges victorious in his upcoming rivalry with Usyk. If Fury winds up winning that rivalry, and if AJ continues winning, it would be a logical showdown for both AJ and Fury. Eddie Hearn said as much, and he was right on the money, figuratively and literally.
There's a brilliant fighter down there called Tyson Fury. Please beat Oleksandr Usyk on May the 18th, because I promise you this, you will get the biggest fight in the history of the sport.
And as Joseph Parker proved, aside from proving once again that I don't know shit about boxing, he likewise proved that triangle theories do not work in boxing because styles make fights. Parker got battered by Joe Joyce. Joyce was twice bludgeoned by Big Bang Zhang. And now Parker is coming off a tremendous victory against Zhang. And I'll have more to say on Joseph Parker later this week. The point here being, if Fury can win the Usyk rivalry, a showdown between Fury and Joshua could potentially be the biggest boxing event of all time. The fact that AJ made easy work of guys like Wallin and Ngannou, guys who gave Fury a difficult challenge, that will only add to the optics and appeal in a fight that would essentially market itself. At the same time, AJ has also positioned himself in such a way that a third fight between him and Usyk potentially makes far more sense than it would have following their rematch. Fury beating Usyk is obviously no guarantee at all. So in the event Usyk winds up winning the rivalry, AJ's winning streak that includes dominant victories against guys Fury struggled against helps his case here too. Of course, Filip Hrgović is the IBF mandatory, and the IBF is expected to strip the winner of Fury versus Usyk. And then, of course, Parker, he's the new WBO mandatory, so their chances can arguably come sooner, or AJ can continue his strategic carving of his career path to perhaps land a vacant belt, while Fury and Usyk settle their business. At the end of the day, AJ is rebuilding in a way that I admire, by staying active and fighting often. But more importantly, he and his team are doing a brilliant job of strategically positioning himself in such a way that getting the opportunity to become a 3-time heavyweight champion is all but inevitable, so long as he keeps on winning. Congratulations to Anthony Joshua. That's one hell of a winning streak he's on as far as I'm concerned, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does next. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful night. This is Rummy's Corner.